we do have part of our service for Digital First, the way we make money is we do a thing called a rapid process transformation. So what John is talking about is the willingness to adapt, because if you have a process, that's a good thing, because that means that you can create a new version of the process. But the willingness, if you have an organization that has a willingness to adapt, and want to do a quick adaptation, as you know, it's basically how do you do that? And one of the services that Digital First offers is that. So thank you, Mas, for that. And then,
I think that. So I think just to your point,
yeah,
when an organization is confronted with an issue, one of the first things that happens is it has to recognize the issue.
Yeah.
And then it has to say, well, what am I going to do to confront or overcome or adapt? How am I going to manage this? How am I going to de-risk this? So we have to recognize it. Then we have to talk about actions. Those are on the strategic side, and then we have to implement. We have to mobilize and implement. That period of time, that mobilization, is what we're trying to compress. For an adaptive organization, what we want people to do is we want to be able to communicate really effectively around why do we need to change, because people need to understand the reason why, and why do we need to do it now? Why is it now as opposed to some other time, some future time? Why do we need to change? Why do we need to do it now? That change management, that so Cotter has, over 20 years of research, and they talked about how people perceive and react to threat.
Absolutely.
And the great thing is that, as individuals, we are constantly aware and constantly on the lookout for threats. We're programmed that way.
Yeah.
And when we perceive a threat, we can either go into survive mode, where you close down your innovative thinking, and it's fight or flight. You are narrowing your perceptions, you are narrowing your decisions. The thrive mode is where you recognize that there is a change, but you don't necessarily perceive it as a threat, because you understand that you can adapt. So if you think about the messaging that's going on right now, there's a lot of messaging going on around that is forcing us to perceive and understand threats. And the volatility is out there. What I'm trying to say is, guys, understand that is occurring, but we have an opportunity, and we have overcome these types of existential problems previously. And COVID is just the most recent example.